why you even thought of coming for our services in the first place?
Well, it's very interesting how we tend to view our career progression. We tend to think that experience really and a little bit of Google here and there can help us put together, in a clear picture exactly where we need to go and how we plan to get there. Which is really how strategies work. You think about the end and then you plan. But it's funny how when it comes to our own careers, we never really look at outsourcing these services and looking for somebody who understands how these things work, because they can do this for you. Because in our own jobs, we are employed because we are the experts in what we do.
Yeah.
So because I've seen the benefit of having a specialist do something either for you or with you, got me to the point where I realized that my resume has been the same for the last 8 years. I just keep updating and adding and changing formats, but not really looking at how my CV represents me and where I want to go. Yeah.
And
so, yeah.
That's a good point you've mentioned, that your CV has been the same for a number of years. Because many people at your level, in senior management and above that is, have that, they tend to have the same CV running for a lot of years because they're not really moving as much. You're going through the ranks in your company, you know, and then one day you realize, okay, maybe I need to look for opportunities or something happens, and then people start wondering, where to get started. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So give me just a little bit of background. Did you have some hesitation in working with us?
So let me not say hesitation, but I just had my own questions because I hadn't heard of your. First of all, just to connect the first question to this question. So what happened is, because I realized the need to get a professional service in helping me out in developing my resume and all that, and just getting my thoughts clear as to where I want to go and just prep myself for it. I of course, I went online, looked at LinkedIn, social media, changing, and I was able to find it, Angle to North. And that's how I ended up contacting you. So just by finding, just by finding you on LinkedIn, it was a plus, but it wasn't everything because it's something I've not done before. So that in itself, I had question marks. I needed to just figure out, is this something that you've done before? Has it, what's your success story vis-a-vis those, those not? And so really those were my question marks, and I'm sure that would be what you call the doubt. So for me, it wasn't really doubt. It was just, okay, does this really work? Has it really worked? And can I see the evidence?
Yeah. Okay. So what helped you overcome that challenge?
So I made a call. I called the number that was on the LinkedIn profile. First, I looked at the LinkedIn profile. I saw what you're doing. They put a profile there, and so I used that, and I decided to call you, and I just said I needed help. Or I just said what I needed, and just that conversation, that one-on-one conversation over the phone was the one that helped me answer those questions. And gave me the confidence that actually I need to let me explore this further. And the biggest thing was that you had the time to listen, whether or not it was going to be to be. And for me, that was really. When I can imagine how fast these conversations are.
Yeah.
But I really poured out. I just told you, this is what I love doing, passion. That's it, my CV. You told me, let's sit down and let's see how we can put that together.
Yeah.
And to just emphasize on at that what happened at that conversation. I was at a point where I didn't know whether I want to go. I I was at a crossroads. I knew I needed to think hard, like go on with the same career, direction. Yeah, so that was it was good having that conversation.
Yeah. So I remember when we started our engagement.
Yeah.
You came with, you were you felt like business development was really where you were strongest at, and that's really where you wanted to focus. But then after our engagement, you realized actually what you want to do is different. You're more into the strategy and the operational work,
Yeah.
So do you feel, based on that assessment, of the career change, do you feel now in hindsight that was valuable to you as a professional?
Quite pretty much so, yes. And that's because not because the business development was not something that I enjoyed or I did good or I excelled in, but it's really what that question mark that I talked to you initially about. What next? What is it that I feel I'm saturated in this business development? And I realized that it's actually operation.
Yeah.
And just business development is one strong pillar that the rest can patch on, which is important. But it was more strategic. Where does the business need to go? To challenge the status quo. Just building, not from nothing, but being able to give direction to people, direction to business. Grow people, grow businesses. Build systems, processes.
Yeah.
And with all that, it's interesting because I had in my mind all that fitted in business development, but it wasn't really business development. It's just because I did business development so much that whatever I encountered that was strategic, I made it fit in business development. So it was good because you peeled that onion. You uncovered the whole story and said, okay, let's rebuild this thing again.
Yeah.
And that's really important because that's the direction I've taken. And that's the direction I want to take.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So maybe, for you mentioned something, for maybe other people who are in top level management, it's a really big challenge for them coming for services like this one because they feel like they should already know this thing. It should be intuitive. Yeah.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
The point when you tell people who have that fear, is this something that people at my level should be looking for? I should know this stuff. I should be sure about what I'm doing.
I think that's the killer question right there. It's interesting how as you grow older, you become set in your ways.
Yeah.
And and comfort becomes comfort becomes something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
As opposed to when you're young, you want to jump, risk, fall, get up, and really it's part of life. It's just the growth, in life. But back to your question, well, it's interesting. They say that you cannot lead until you can be led. You cannot teach until you can be a student. And this is the lesson that we must keep in life. If you look at all the successful people, the great people that we look up to, they have mentors, so they're constantly being taught and being challenged. But a mentor is not meant to tell you just well done. A mentor is meant to tell you, wait a minute, challenge your thinking, and that's where growth comes. Growth comes by stretching. So a lot of us who've done well, especially, become complacent and comfortable, and because of that, we find anything that tends to challenge, especially that which we know very well, becomes it's not an easy thing to it's not palatable for us.
Yeah.
But I really feel, in fact, this is a process that should not only apply to milestones and career changes and career growth and all this, but I think it's something that should be used ever so often in life. Just I'm here and reflective, and because for you or for your business, this is you look at things from a world view and you look at things from a global perspective. So you tend to challenge things, what we see, but you tend to give it that broader view, and I think that's always beneficial at the end of the day, whether you're in the right track or not. Because if you're in the right track, then it's a thumbs up. Good. You know, improve. If it's not, it's stop, change. How? So this is something I'd encourage, not just senior level, but and not just for not just for career development or for for such, but equally just to keep you in check, for progressive check. Are you on track? Are things changing? Yeah,
an independent view.
Correct.
Everyone needs an independent view. You can't
always
rely on your own feelings.
Yeah, and how much more from and how much more from somebody competent at doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So out of the service now that you selected, what values what benefits do you remember? Out of after we did, aside from
I got to pour out my heart first of all, so I got to actually offload and have somebody who can actually say, okay, this is all the mess. Okay, let's fix it or let's organize it. So that was one. I really got my thoughts in order. Yeah. Two, I also got an opportunity to really relook at how I viewed things and how I planned things, including how my resume looks like. It's totally different. And sure enough, I went online and just looked at other resumes for senior managers, and they all had a similar look and feel, and I really appreciated that. And that really now formed a new. It became the revised version now. Hopefully not for the next 8 years, but 2 years.
But it gives you clarity on the value you provide to a prospective employer, and it opens up opportunities for you because you are going to look very different. Okay, and for you did end up getting another job out of the entire process. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you feel that the service contributed to that process of you getting?
Definitely it did.
Yeah.
It did because, as I said, my thoughts are now aligned. It's like a string. It's like a beaded. It's like a string of beads. I understand what I'm saying before because it's clear. This is how the picture comes together.
Yeah.
And now not from a business development perspective, but from a strategic
perspective. Yeah. I remember there's a time you called me and you told me that one of the things that you feel has really come through from the process is that you know what opportunities to just say no to.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you get quite a number of people requesting for you to interview and do this and that on LinkedIn, but now these opportunities are past where I want to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And really all the opportunities that are coming my way are not business development related. They are all strategic roles, operation roles. Even just being being filtered to my inbox. Not that they are handpicking me, but just being filtered that is something would you be interested in or not? And interesting enough is some cut across different industries that probably have no relation to my industry, but just the fact that now I'm able to demonstrate the capabilities and the skill sets that they're looking for. They're interested. They're willing to try, and I found that very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's great. So, what can you tell someone, maybe in your situation where you're in a job, you're doing well, you're like maybe they're like you, they're leading across boundaries, not just East Africa, but you're feeling there's something not quite right, and they don't know where to get started. What would you tell them?
Well, as I said, the first things first is because they can't get it. The first thing they should do is get help. They'll, it's the first rule in life. If you're not able to figure something out and it bugs you every day, seek help. And when you look at our jobs and functions in our jobs, all these people have their skill set, their competencies, the things that they do best. Seek help in that space. And this is where Angles North really, for me, and not being biased, did for me because I was at that point where I didn't understand. So
And remember, these are life-changing decisions. These are life-changing points.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I mean, it should help.
Great. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, regarding what's the opportunity cost? There's always this argument about a price and the price. What's a price? A price is in it anything. It's the tag that you put on an object. But the price is what you get, the value. That value, whatever currency, tag you put on it, might not necessarily be the value that you seek.
Yeah.
So, price aside, costs aside, you look at really what you're getting on the table, and really when you look at it based on the career change, and what it sorts you out on. I found that I thought at first that it was expensive, but I realized no, it's not. It's not. In fact, it's underrated. This is something that should be in our budget.
Everyone should have this budget. The same way you budget for a house.
Exactly. And the quality of someone's output is really about the person's position. Are you okay? Are you clear in mind? Are you clear in thought? Are you somebody who knows where they are going? And when you find that at least this is really how human resources, just today digress a bit. Nowadays you see sitting on the board because the people build the businesses, and if these people are not taken care of, then the businesses suffer. So this is the same way I look at it. This sets you up for an opportunity that was bigger than where you are. So that it's a minute. It's almost negligible, so to say. Considering what you get out of it.
Yeah.
And look, we've been talking on and off anytime, whenever, however, and